Welcome back, Mentees. The Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, and today I'm going to have the honor of doing a first look at the new X-Men Milestone line. So please stay tuned. Before I get this started, I want to give a quick shout out to David Gabriel and the fine folks at Marvel for letting me do an advance overview of the book. This is a new line that Marvel just started. It is called the X-Men Milestone, and I assume it's just for X-Men. Maybe later on they'll do an Avengers Milestone and a Fantastic Four milestone, but for now, this is X-Men. And what this collects is the Dark Phoenix Saga. So let's look at the back here. Actually, let's look at the spine. This is what it will look like. I'm not sure if all the milestones are going to be this gold, orangish color, but it could be that that's just the color of the Phoenix symbol. And the back tells you the content. So issues 129 through 137. So from the first appearance of Kitty Pryde and White Queen all the way to the ending of the Dark Phoenix Saga. Kind of the stuff that's been collected in the past. So here we have, maybe they are going to be this orange color. An advertisement for Fall of the Mutants, which is probably one of my favorite X-Men stories. It's already been collected in an oversized format, and I think 2 trade paperbacks. But I've always loved this image. This is the Alan Davis. It was just an ad, but I've always loved that image. So let's get the table content. Chris Claremont, John Byrne, and Terry Austin. The paper quality seems about I want to say it's the same kind of quality from the Epic format, as well as the cover. It's not as flimsy as some of the newer stuff that's been collected. For example, I'm just thinking of the new Uncanny X-Men trade. That cover seemed really flimsy for some reason. I hope it was just my copy. So let's look through here. Like I mentioned, this story has been reprinted. Probably this is the most reprinted X-Men story. You've had trades, you've had hardcovers, you've had oversized hardcovers, you've got an omnibus. It's been collected in Omnibus Volume 2, which was up there. And actually, we read this on Old Reader, New Reader. If you want to check that out, click the link above for that description. Best story ever, Wolverine alone. And let's look at the binding really quick, because it is just, trade paperback, glued binding. But it lays over really nice. Now, what's curious to note about this is that the book itself, I thought the milestones were going to be crossovers. I thought that they already have the Epic line, collecting the Epic stories, chronological order of Uncanny X-Men. So I thought in order to bypass storylines like Fall of the Mutants or Mutant Massacre or Inferno, where it crosses over into, for example, Inferno crossing over into X-Factor, where part 1 is an X-Factor and part 2 is an Uncanny X-Men, that they would give us the Milestone books, because they can't reprint everything in the Epics. But it's interesting that they kicked it off with this, perhaps something to do with that movie that just came out, The Dark Phoenix, and maybe they're just going to collect the classic stories from X-Men. So maybe that's what they're going to do. Maybe it's for people that have never read the Dark Phoenix Saga, or you want to give it to a friend, because the price point for something like this is $24.99, where an Epic collection is $39.99, the omnibus being $100, right? Depending on how much you love your friends. I don't know if there's any extras, because it might just be, because I don't see any letter pages or things like that. But let's flip through the back here, see if they have any extras. So it looks like they've collected the covers to the classic X-Men, some front and back. Looks like some page ads. The different covers, like I mentioned before, different trade paperbacks that they've had over the years. Marvel Masterworks, Dark Phoenix Saga hardcover, the Omnibus, and then this is the unused page that we knew of. The unused pages from 138, if Jean Grey had lived. Uncolored pages by John Byrne. Penciled pages, and then several pages. And what the hell is this? What is with this cover to Mutant Massacre? No! What? Marvel? Come on, you should have used that classic 213 cover with Wolverine vs. Sabretooth, which I'm sure has been done to hell, but Gambit had nothing to do with the Mutant Massacre. I know, it's been retconned because of the trial of Gambit. But if people were to read the Mutant Massacre for the first time, they're going to be disappointed when Gambit and Mr. Sinister don't show up. Mr. Sinister at least shows up when they mention his name. But Gambit doesn't... Nobody even knows what Gambit is. He didn't lead them into the tunnel until it was retcon. And I'm not too keen on that art. But anyway, maybe they'll change it. Maybe that's just a placeholder. And That's my opinion. I'm not reviewing the book. And that is pretty much all I have to say about the book. I think pretty much this is for people that are X-Men completists, or just like to collect storylines in a cheaper form and just want to get them off their bookshelf really quick. Oh, I just want to read the Mutant Massacre, but don't want to log around this big, giant omnibus or the 2 trade paperbacks. I'll just take one of these little skinny trades. Or you want to gift them to a friend saying, dude, I'm serious, The Fall of the Mutants is the best X-Men story. Here, read this. Could be that. Or like I said, an X-Men completionist. I like to see how this compares to the other X-Men Milestones. Like how the size and just the spines, how they line up. So hopefully I'll be getting some early advanced copies of that so we can look at them together. And that was everything included in the book. Let me know in the comments down below if you're going to start collecting this line, or if you're going to pass up on it because you already own the Omnis, or you already own the trades, or you're only going to get the stories that you like. Leave those comments below. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed what you saw, and that like button. And hit the notifications button so you know when our videos go up. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at NearMintCon. Check out our Redbubble store where you can get near mint condition shirts. And don't forget to check out our Patreon where you have early access to videos much like this. Again, this was the Uncanny Omar. Thank you very much for watching, and remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint.